So hello, I'm starting a bit early. I got like 2 minutes. Technically speaking, just to be sure that it's all working. If you look at me, just next to me is a chat box. So that's where you can type all the questions that I'm going to ask through the webinar and kind of like interact with you through the webinar. If you're already here, can you please type me in the chat box if you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay, or where are you from? Please free to let me know before we start. I will be replying the questions as I kind of as I kind of go. So before I start the webinar, I'll give like 2 more minutes for people to log in. So yeah, please let me know in the chat box that you're in, that you can hear me fine, that you can see me fine, and that everything else is working. I'm going to actually, just to be 100% sure that it's all working, I'm going to, okay. Hi, Kai, can you hear me? Can you see everything seems sounds perfect. So everything seems sound, that's cool. Hello. Vinicius. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Vinicius, I like it. Sounds fairly sexual though. Okay, so yeah, guys, so let me know where you're from actually. Well, I'm here currently in London. I would really like to hear where you're from. I would like to have a daylight, but you know, it's 9 p.m. Here in London, so I did my absolute best with the light. So just kind of introduction. So this is webinar, obviously, but this is the first one I'm making. Hopefully out of series, quite a few. I would just like to see how it goes, and if you're going to like it, or if not, just let me know in the chat box next to this window. Through the webinar, if you have any ideas about any other topics you would like me to cover, just again, let me know, so I kind of have some idea, well, what is it that you'll be interested in. So as I know loads of people are interested in Sigil Magic, I decided to do a webinar about Sigil Magic. This one is mostly aimed at people who never done Sigil Magic before or don't really have that much of experience with it. So I'm going to go through it from the beginning, but I'm going to actually show you my own take on pictorial method, which is actually not that often method that would be used for Sigil Magic for some reason. But I really like it. It's one of the ones I'm actually using the most. So I would like to show you, let's see how I'm doing it. So I think even somebody who is fairly doing Sigil Magic for quite some time can learn something interesting in it and something new. This webinar will be roughly about 1 hour, so not too long. Hopefully, you won't get. I think you will get bored. It's going to be quite fun. I have slides. It's like slides. No, come on, everybody likes slides. Everybody hates to do them, but actually people like to look at slides, right? So okay, so yeah, again, chat box, please let me know that you're here. Wave, say hello, say where you're listening from. Chat box. I have no idea if this is mirror switch, so I might be pointing all the time to the wrong direction, but one of the directions, either this way or this way, just directly next to me, and there is a chat box when you can type your questions. There will be question time at the end of the webinar after I show you the slides and explain the whole situation, but I actually will be asking questions through the webinar and see if you're fine, see if you're following, and stuff like that. So first things first, please make sure all you need currently is a pen and paper, and obviously the computer so you can hear me. So if you don't have, I'm going to start in like 2 minutes to show the slides. and start explaining the method. So if you don't have pen and paper, please go and grab a pen and paper. Having your pen and paper yet? So that's basically all you're going to need for the webinar. Okay, so hello everybody. I'm going to start now because it's 2 minutes after 9 already. Ready? Okay, so Kai got his pen and paper ready. I think everybody's following Kai's example and having their pen and paper. I can't see you, but I'm trusting you that you have a pen and paper for making the sigil. Okay, so you're ready. So cool. I'm going to now screen share, and I'm going to Brazil. Wow, all the way to Brazil from London. There must be terrible time there. Like, what's the time? It's not like San Francisco. It's 8 hours minus. No, so it's like Sunday afternoon, right? I'm terrible with mathematics. Like horrendous. So, okay. So I'm going to go in the slides, and I'm going to explain the whole method as I go. So I'm going to screen share. Okay, so now I should be screen sharing. Okay, this is my first webinar, so please, somebody be a lovely heart and write me in a hello. Somebody please be a darling and write me in a chat box that you can hear my voice and see the screen and see the slides. Theoretically, you should be able to see the slide and hear my voice. Please let me know if you can. Okay, so I assume you do. So start with Sigil Magic today. So everything works. Whoa, that is a massive surprise. Okay, cool. Thank you, Kai. So you're here. You look lovely. Oh, thank you. Well, now you're going to see the slides. So lovely slides instead of my lovely face, but I hope you won't be disappointed. So start with Sigil Magic today. The idea of this webinar is to create actionable steps that is easy to follow, even if you have zero experience, and you can still make your first sigil today. Again, if you haven't got your paper and pen, please go and get it. So start with Sigil Magic today. So bit about me for those of you who doesn't know me. I'm a tarot card reader. My name is Astrid. I do many different things that are connected to occult. I have my own radio show. I'm a lecturer and a writer. I write for Mookie Chick magazine, and now I'm currently writing some articles for Sabbath magazine. I'm a lecturer. I'm doing workshops around London and online. I'm a YouTuber. My YouTube channel got about almost 5,000 subscribers. This is my radio show, Spiritual Alchemy Show. It's every Monday online on Pulse Talk Radio. It's online so everybody can listen to it worldwide. And it's every Monday from 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. talking about various different esoteric and occult topics. This is just picture, bit of a pat on my shoulder of some of the clients I've worked with through the years. And this is the website that you are currently on, possibly without even knowing. And you can find some more info about me and what I'm doing. So what are you going to learn today? How to make a simple sigil using pictorial method. Going to explain, no previous experience needed. How to charge and fire sigil. For those who knows how this is done, they might giggle at this point. Don't worry, there will be more opportunities to giggle later on. Trust me. How to evaluate the results and learn from them. One of the most important thing in the whole magic practice, knowing how to evaluating your results and learning from them. But widely just ignored, but I'm going to talk about it because it's super important. So what do you need? Guess what you need? Pen and paper. Yes, you do need indeed pen and paper, and you need one more thing, and that is your wish or desire, something you want to manifest. Okay, the popular one are usually connected to money or to love, which because mostly people want money, love, or sex. So it can be something else. I had all sorts of people telling me all sorts of various desires that they wanted to manifest. Some of them were connected to their family. Some of them can be actually connected even to quite abstract concepts like getting energy or raising my energy or helping somebody in my family, let's say, with the health problems. Can be some sort of a wish or desire you want to manifest. So I believe quite a lot of you might have quite a few different desires and different ideas, things that they want to manifest. So for purpose of this webinar, please choose one that we are going to work with. Okay, so actionable step number 1: set up an intent. So that means one sentence. The sentence should be in a present tense and should be a positive statement. So not something like I'm not getting, I don't want that, but positive statement like I am having a pay rise, or I am having, I'm finding love. Always when you are doing some sort of a magic, always think in positive terms, in positive statements, in positive ideas, because that's where we want to put the energy, right? We want to put the energy in positive. We want to put the energy in something that is manifesting, happening, and it's good. We don't want to put my energy in something that's negative, not in this particular type of magic. So always when you think to manifest things, you're always thinking about it as you're already having it and in a positive, and usually I like to prefer a present tense. So write it down. Now is the time to get your pen and paper. I'm sure you have. And write it down, what you're trying to manifest. So write down, I would like to have money, or I would like to have that. I'm having money, I'm having pay rise. Doesn't really matter, just write it down. I'll wait. So how are you finding it so far? Everybody okay? Everybody's having pen and paper? Okay, so ready with writing it down? Everybody got their desire written down? Cool. So yes, everything. Okay, so everybody got their desire written down. So now what we are going to do, okay, so we have, yes, hi. Hey, hi, Sol. You just came right on time. We are just having our pen and paper, and we are writing down our idea or something we want to manifest, our desire. So, Sol, you got very short amount of time to get a pen and paper if you don't have it, because you're going to need it, and write down your desire. So, okay, so we have a paper, we know what we want to manifest. So this is where it kind of start to vary if you are using wording method or pictorial. I said in this particular webinar, we are going to do pictorial method. So what we are going to do, and it's all right, I've got it. Oh, good. Respect. So normally, if you're doing wording method, you would do the chain of letters and so on and so forth. Again, we are doing today pictorial method. That is slightly different, and I'm going to show you how is it done. But before I get there, why actually I just don't need to do anything with this whole sentence. I just have a sentence that's written down. Why I need to do anything with it? The reason is, if you have it in words and if you look at it and you understand the meaning, then the idea kind of is remaining in your consciousness. It's remaining in your in your conscious mind, because you can see it, you understand it. It's kind of like in your mind, it's in your brain, it's just right in front of your eyes. Unfortunately, this is not how universe works. This is not the place from which our universe is manifesting desires. We have to go deep in our conscious and subconscious when the real manifestations, the universal manifestations are happening. So we have to penetrate a bit deeper. The problem is that our subconscious and unconscious does not understand words. That's a language of our mind, but we need to go in the language of our dreams. That's where the unconscious is. And how our dreams are actually talking to us through symbols. If we have water in dreams, that might represent emotions. This will be different for everybody else, but some of the symbols are quite universal. Houses in the dreams would represent safety, home environment, inner feeling of security, and so on and so forth. So our unconscious does not really understand words. It doesn't function in the words. It functions in the symbols. So if you want our desire to get to this unconscious where the things are manifested, when the magic is happening, we have to speak its language. So that's the reason why we are actually turning the words into symbol, to speak the language of our unconscious, the language that it can understand and understand what we are trying to get. So that's the first part. The second part, which we are going to talk later on, is firing the symbol, which is basically the part of the process when we are not just creating a symbol that our unconscious can understand, but also we are completely getting out and rid of our conscious mind. So it's getting out of the way, and our symbol and our desire can be manifested and sent directly to our consciousness to eruption in the universe. So that is the reason why we are making a symbol and why we just don't have written paper that says, I want a bunch of money. We need to speak the right language of unconscious. So now we are going to translate it in the language our unconscious can understand. So how we are going to do it? I was talking about pictorial method, pictorial picture. So there is something pictorial about the whole thing, right? So, okay, so we have our desire, and now think about pictograms. What the heck is pictogram? So I think, Astrid, I have no freaking clue what the hell you're talking about. So, okay, so what the heck is pictogram? A pictogram, also called a pictogram. Pictograph is a computer usage, and it doesn't have to be computer, ideogram, that's important word, and I kind of like that one, that conveys its meaning for its pictorial resemblance to a physical object or event. And here are some examples. So here is examples of various pictograms that are representing a certain event or idea or wants and needs. So you can see the man holding this house. That possibly, my desire is to have a house or buy a house or pay off the mortgage. The one in the middle would be my desire is to save some money. The one on the right, my desire would be walk up and down the stairs. Some people might want that. There is the guy and girl holding each other. My desire is to find a heterosexual relationship. Obviously, this will be different for same-sex couples. The one in the middle, again, my desire is to combine and balance the time and my money. And the desire on the bottom right is my desire is to get drunk. So it can be any idea that basically you might have. Now we want to transform it into pictorial picture like this one. You absolutely, under no circumstance, have to be an artistic. Absolutely not. You don't have to be artistic whatsoever. It can be just a stick figure. If there are an actual people, maybe that will represent you, maybe that will represent somebody else in the picture. If you are talking about people, if there are some people involved, you can very, very simplify. Again, it doesn't have to be artistic. We're going to simplify it later on, so it doesn't have to be artistic whatsoever. You just have to at least somehow, one way or another, represent the idea that you are trying to manifest. Again, you can use like stick figures for people. You can use money signs. You can use hearts. You can use like pictures of houses. You can just use outlines of maybe a dog or outline. If you're talking about a kid, and one stick of a figure would be smaller, one stick figure is going to be a bit bigger. So now you have your desire, and now you want to think about some picture like that would represent it. Okay, so now we are going to draw the pictogram for your desire. For that, I'm going to go back for now. So now we are about to draw the pictogram for your desire. So please let me know any questions for this step. Please write them in the chat box. That is either this way or this way. I believe it might be this way, but might be as well this way, because it can be switched. So at some point next to me there is a chat box. Please tell me, let me know how you're finding it so far, how you like the webinar so far, how you are keeping up with it. If you have any problems with creating the pictogram, any questions for this step, let me know in the chat box section, how you are finding it and how you are making your pictogram. On your left. Oh. My left is here. That doesn't. Okay, there is a somewhere. Chat box is just out there. Okay. So everybody okay with creating pictogram for their desire? All good? Okay. Cool. Andy is smiling, so I assume Andy is doing well. Anon's all good. Okay, cool, amazing. So it seems like you've been doing quite well. So again, doesn't have to be artistic really. It just has to somehow represent kind of what you want. So I'm going to go back to the slides. Zoom. It's very Star Trek like. Okay, so I believe I'm screen sharing. It's more of faith than a knowledge, but okay. So we are drawing the pictogram for your desire. So okay, cool. So now what you're going to do with it? Now we need to simplify it. The reason why I'm simplifying it is simple. Seen what I've done there. Is that when it actually still represents somehow, if you can somehow read it, if you can understand the symbol too well, again, our conscious mind is getting too much in the whole process. It's a bit like with the words. If you look at the words and you know what you mean, you start to think, and the mind is getting in it, and we are trying to get the mind out of it. So the less it does kind of represent it, but kind of it doesn't. So you can't really look at the picture and read it. If you look at the pictograms I showed you here, even if you don't know what is it about, if you don't know the person's original desire, you can always be able to trace it back and kind of tell what it is. Like the guy in the bottom, my right, maybe your left, just wants to get drunk. So, okay, we can look at the pictogram and we can trace it. We kind of want to get it into the point when it does represent it, the idea that you want, the desire, but you can't really trace it. So I'm going to show you, this is example of my own sigils that I made with this method. So the door opening sigil, again, I made a pictorial pictogram with the doors that are kind of opening, and all the obstacles that might possibly close the door are outside of the doors, and the doors are open. So I put that triangle as a symbol of manifestation. So it's open. So if you look at the door opening sigil, it kind of does represent the door opening, because there are this like door-like shape, and there is like this keyhole, maybe manifesting triangle in the middle of it, and all the the crosses are outside of it, they're not inside of it. So it does kind of represent the door opening, but not really. People who would see it and wouldn't know what is it about, they most likely won't be able to trace it to door opening. And the one on the right or left, receiving dream guidance sigil, again, it's kind of what was originally meant to be. So somebody who doesn't know what it is can possibly not trace it, but you can kind of see it in it. So when I was making this receiving dream guidance, the smaller circle at the bottom was supposed to represent the person that is receiving. There's a smaller circle, and then you get some sort of like a narrow like shape that's like reaching out to the dream realm, which is the swirls, and kind of receiving, that's like the shape that's around it, like receiving guidance from the swirly realm. So if you look at it, it kind of does make sense if you know the story behind it. But if you just see it without the story, you can't trace it. So that's exactly the point where we are trying to get your sigil or your pictogram. Usually try not to overcomplicate it. Usually I would say some sort of a level of complicate, like you can see on those two pictures, usually works the best. When it's too simple, it's just too simple because it doesn't hold the idea that well. And if it's overly complicated, it's just overly complicated and it doesn't really work well either. So really it's about finding the right spot when it's too complicated, when it's just too simple, and kind of like working along those lines and try to do that. So how you coping with it? Let me know. Is it okay? Are you do you understand it? Did I explain it right? Do you understand the concept of the simplifying it bit, but not too much? So how you doing? How is it doing? How is your sigil magic sigil creation going? Let me know in that. Let me know. Don't be shy. Let me know. Okay. So as you're simplifying it, congratulations. You have your first. It's going okay, I guess, Kai. Okay. No, don't worry. It's okay. It's like, it doesn't have to be artistic. Like, seriously, no. It doesn't have to be like, nobody is. I look like a child drawing lol, but it's okay. Don't worry. Like, seriously, guys, don't worry. Like, no, like, don't worry. Like, if you think about all those beautiful paintings, that's not a sigil. So did you make clearer drawings before simplifying those sigils? Yes, I did. So before I made those sigils, there was an actual pictogram. It was slightly similar to this thing. So doing good, love this format, having the ability to talk. Yay! So yes, Kai, good question. Before I made those, I actually had something similar, vaguely, to something like that. I had a picture that was a bit more recognizable, and then I simplified so it's not recognizable for somebody who doesn't know the story. The thing is, would be nice seeing those as well. Yeah, I really don't have those, unfortunately. I don't really have the original pictures for those because I just throw them away and just get the originals. But they weren't that much different than those ones because I was just kind of having quite a precise idea of what I want, even like before I actually start to making those. But this is something that would definitely come with the practice. I would say that even up, this is just a webinar just to really just keep you going and make you do the symbol. I personally occasionally just start with the simplified symbol already. If you have some practice and you have some self-confidence, then you can just start making pictures like that just straight away. Even those ones can be some level of like being like realistic and being sigils. You can really play with the level of how realistic it's supposed to be. So, or you can, like, if you really feel like it, you can just start with something like this straight away. This was just like, I made it like that for the purpose of this webinar. So to kind of keep going in the people who never done sigil magic before. So, okay. Congratulations. You have your sigil. Okay, so now you're asking, oh, what should I do with it, Astrid? Okay, so that's all very nice. I have sigil. It's very pretty, very beautiful. But what I'm supposed to do with it, Astrid? Okay, so you have options here. What you want to do with the sigil. You can use it as it is. You can use it as a logo. You can use it as your artworks. Quite a few companies are actually using logos, sigils as a logos already. Most of them actually are. You know, if you got this idea of maybe leaves, you know, some bio company who are doing organic or anything like that would have very simplified shapes of the leaves. To the point when you almost can't recognize it. Maybe you can. So logos itself are actually kind of a sigils. So this is a way how you can actually make your own logo for your business, which can be a very powerful way how to actually do this, because can actually empower your whole brand. Ask McDonald's. You can do artworks with it. You can incorporate it in posters that you're doing. You can incorporate it in banners. You can incorporate it in graphic design. You can do whatever you want with it, really. You can just print it out. You can make sigils for I'm receiving a positive energy. You'll do a sigil. You can print it out. You can put it somewhere in a kitchen. You can put it in a room. You can make sigil I'm sleeping well. You can, again, print it out. Maybe place it above your bed, so it kind of charges as you're sleeping. So you can basically completely use it as it is to kind of spread the positive energy in your room or protect the room. You can make sigil for my house is protected. When you can make sigil when possibly will be some squares and something in the middle to kind of create this idea of something being protected, something being shielded. And so again, as I said, you can use it as it is, or alternatively, we can go to charge it and firing it. So why, Astrid, why do I have to charge it and firing the sigil if I can just use it as it is? Well, some of the desires that basically requires I would say immediate action from the universe. There is a difference between I would like to receive a positive energy, which is something that's kind of ongoing, or I would like to receive a dream guidance, or I would like to sleep well. This is kind of like a things that can just kind of happen, and the sigil can be there, and it will be charged with you actually seeing it on a daily basis. But if we really, really want something that would possibly require a stronger push, like I want a pay rise, I want promotion, I want something to manifest, I want something to happen, something that we bit more than just having nice dreams. We can sense that this desire is stronger. We need some extra fuel. So there are other ways how to get it into your subconscious with a bit more of a charge, a bit more of a power, a bit more of a fuel than just leaving it somewhere, let's say printing out in your room, and then just letting you see it on a daily basis and just kind of getting it into your subconscious and unconscious that way. So, okay, so if you want some extra fuel, what we have to do. Yep. As I mentioned before, there are a few different ways how to charge and fire sigil. This is not the only way. This is absolutely not. But I would say if you are starting, if you are a beginner, this is one of the most foolproof way how to do that. Other techniques how to fire and charge and fire sigils would be trance states, something that's called a death posture, which I would not recommend unless you are a very skilled occultist who knows how to do energy work. So this one is pretty much foolproof because most people kind of know how to masturbate, right? So why masturbation? How the hell out of all the ways, why masturbation? Easy, because in masturbation, that's basically a moment when two things are coming together. A, our consciousness is kind of going just out, it's just gone for a big part when we're actually having the orgasm. And second reason is because there is a desire. So we have two things that we need, and that is it's very strong desire and want, and almost this hunger-like desire. Plus, our consciousness is gone, and we are going directly to subconscious. Brilliant. And it's for untrained person. It's one of the best ways how to, or fastest way, or how to get that. So just a little disclaimer. Wait with it, please, till the end of the webinar. If you are watching it as a replay, then just go ahead. I don't mind. But it's like, please, just keep it for the time of this webinar. Then it's just like 25 more minutes of this webinar. So after that, do whatever. You have my blessings. But please just for upcoming 25 minutes, and please wait with it. Let me explain it first, okay? So, okay, as I said, orgasm creates a rupture into our consciousness because that's where we are heading with it. What you need to do through that, you're keeping the sigil image in your mind while you're having one, means orgasm, and that will send it to universe. So basically, the moment when you are masturbating, it can be done like, yes, it can be done for two people. It doesn't have to be masturbation, but I would kind of warn against it, because in that sense, unfortunately, the desire is actually going to that other person because you're desiring the other person, and we need you to desire your symbol. How it works the best way, it's usually don't watch porn or anything like that. You really have to just watch the symbol. So you have your symbol on your paper. Again, please wait till the end of this webinar, and then you'll start masturbating. And you have to actually, what helps a lot is actually feeling an actual sexual desire for the symbol. That might take a little bit of a practice, but it's possible, and that's usually how you got the strongest results, if you actually feel physically aroused by the symbol itself. So you feel tension, you feel this strong desire for the particular symbol, and as you are having your orgasm, in the moment of a climax, you are imagining the symbol glowing and in front of you, and you're just basically sending it out. You can imagining sending it up to the sky. Kai, gotta draw some sexy sigils. Well, you know what, Kai? Gotta draw some sexy sigils. After some time, with a little bit of practice, it's actually possible to feel physically attracted and feel this desire, almost like hunger, and like for even like I would say sexually suggesting shapes, like I don't know, square. Can square be sexual symbol? I don't know. I don't think so. I guess it depends which way you actually tilt it. But it's possible. It's possible to actually train yourself to the point when you feel a sexual arousal or sexual desire and hunger towards basically anything, towards any symbol, any object. I'm not not telling you to become fetishist, but it's possible. It's possible to train yourself that way, that you can actually feel that to that symbol, which is actually a way how you can actually get the best and fastest results for your magic. So while you're actually having the orgasm, that's the moment when you are creating the rapture in the universe, and you literally have to fire it in it. That's why it's called firing. Like shoot it Now I'm actually getting quite imaginative myself as I'm talking this. It's just like mind currently wanders. So I'm going to try to get myself back on focus, and not make any more double meaning notes. But hey, come on, you know me. You can't really expect my webinars to be politically correct. I'm Family Guy type of a person. So okay, so we are firing it into the rupture in the universe. Done. Okay. So what after we've done that, we've been imagining the symbol all over. Intensity is the keyword. Intensity. It has to be intense. Usually, the more intense experience you can get with it, the more intensity you can get in it, the better and stronger results you're getting. So that's actually quite good motivation. How to train it and how to do it. So again, keeping the mind in the minute, sending in the universe, you have to feel very intense feeling. The energy is just going into that symbol that's being pushed away in the moment of orgasm somewhere up in the universe. Okay, so once this is done, what to do with it next? Forget the sigil, throw it away, and wait for the results. Literally, that's all you have to do. Usually, it's actually beneficial, and I noticed I got better results if you actually go all the way. If you're not just printing the sigil out and just using it being somewhere, and you actually go through that process with charging it and firing it, I would highly recommend to discard the sigil. Don't have it somewhere around later on. It's really producing just weird results. And so after you've done that, usually you can burn it. You can just throw it in away. You can literally flush it in the toilet. It doesn't really matter. It kind of you don't have to do really rituals for the disposal and any sort. You can just, as I said, flush it down the toilet. But important it is that you kind of acknowledge yourself that it has been taken care of. So you're burning it. Again, it doesn't have to be any fancy ritual or anything like that. But as you're burning it, you yourself acknowledging it that basically now the sigil is out of your hands. There is no physical proof, result, or anything tangible of that sigil that you have left. The sigil is not yours anymore. It's somewhere out in the universe where you fire it, but it's not yours anymore. You don't have it. So that's the important feeling that you need to get from that sigil. So it's always good to actually get rid of all the physical proofs that the sigil ever existed, completely wipe them out. Okay, so after the sigil, you are in a state of positive expectations. So you expect things to happen. Important thing, do not freak out either way, if it's happening or if it's not happening. You have to be calm. So actually, some people recommend meditating before the sigil. I actually recommend to meditate some extra actually after the sigil is firing, because you need to be calm, so you're not just sabotaging the results. So keep calm and carry on and wait for the results. Practice to perfection. It's a skill. That's something that loads of people are actually getting wrong. Like making sigils and magic is a skill. So the more you practice it, the better you get with it. So if you maybe have a little results from the beginning, doesn't mean it doesn't work, because it does. It means you need more practice. So if you're practicing it more, you will get better results. It will all get better. You will have stronger results. You will also learn how to understand your results better. So that's basically what you have to do. Okay, it's right down to results. I'm actually going to go back to this one a little bit before I go to questions. So writing down the results is super important, because you need to keep track of what you're doing, what was working, what was not. That will help you to kind of customize the whole process, because the basic dynamics, like sending it to unconscious, subconscious, will work for everybody. But then there will be some customized, specific, that will be completely different to every single one of them, every single one of you, because we are every single one of us is a different person. So let's say for somebody, for somebody, it will really work very well if they, let's say, do the sigil in the red colors, because they are very passionate people. So they really, let's say, can blend in and kind of understand the red colors. So if it's in the red color, it will work better for them, because they can identify with red color. For some people, it will, let's say, work better if they make the sigil in black, because that's how they normally do. That's how they normally function. For some people, it will work if they will burn the sigil, because again, they're a fire person. So they might, understand. It might identify with it better. So think about who you are as a person, and actually what you like as a person, and that's usually how you find the best ways how to kind of take that basic principle that I showed you to next level that will work the best for you. For that reason, it's super important to writing down your results, having journal, having notebook, and just writing down what went well, what didn't. If something, it didn't happen at all, if you've done the sigil and it was very intense, but nothing happened whatsoever, that's also super important information. Because that means there was a reason behind it. There's always, when it doesn't happen, there's always reason behind it, and you need to a bit more look into that. So keep writing down your results, keep tweaking the whole system. It's not like you just do it once and you're done. You have to practice it, and you have to not just practice it, but also tweaking and changing and a little bit updating the whole process as you go to make it truly yours, and make it like super powerful for you as a person. Practice to perfection. I mentioned that before. So yeah, so that was my webinar. The idea of this webinar was just to give you some easy to follow steps how to make your first sigil. And basically just keep you going. If you'll be interested in to go way deeper into sigil territory, I have my own Sigil Magic Foundation course, which is completely self-paced course. You can start and go through lessons however you want to. It's 9 full lessons, so I recommend to go through 1 lesson a week, so you can kind of have enough time to kind of go through it. For each lesson, you have me talking, a video, and PDF handouts, and that's a fun part, PDF activity sheet for each lesson, when you have some active ideas for each week and activities to do. Chat box for each session when you can ask a question, and my Sigil Magic Facebook group, suitable for complete beginners and intermediate levels. So in this course, I'm going more deep into meditations, into energy works that you're supposed to do with sigils, or before or and after, a bit more into the territory of other methods, how to make sigils, how to evaluate results with some advanced sigil magic, and also I'm going way more deep and evaluating the whole results and how to tweak them and how to read them. I made it just for, yeah, this one is £25, so it won't break anybody's bank. So if you would be interested, this is where to find the full online course. So okay, so now it's questions time. So I'm here for you. If you have any questions about, I'm going to just switch myself back. Okay. So questions time. If you have any questions about the whole process, I'm here to answer your questions. If you, how you're finding it, how's your sigil going? Did you manage to make your sigil? Let me know in the chat box. Again, if you have any questions about the firing, thanks for clarifying a point. I now understand the difference between keeping the sigil like a talisman for ongoing long-term influences and destroying the sigil for a one-off, more immediate desire. Is that correct? I would say, yeah. This basically, this is something I'm basically going like very in depth in the sigil foundation course. So I just explain it quite quickly, because usually what will help you is actually practice. With the practice, if you're practicing over a longer period of time, then you can see which desire would be better to do one way or the other. So Certain desires will work much better as a talismans, as I said, drawing energy, drawing love energy to me. This is something that kind of is, as you said, kind of an ongoing long-term thing, influence, drawing power, getting some, maybe getting clients, getting more money. It's long-term ongoing thing. For that sense, I've noticed what works better is just having it as a talisman that you possibly keep charging in your energy with your hands, maybe daily, maybe every other day, however you feel like it. But then you need something that you usually, when it's time sensitive, when you need to manifest something fast, like money or pay rise, is one particular situation, it's one-off situation. That's a good pointer, as you said. More immediate desire, more one-off. Or it's something that just needs a bit more of a fuel, like, oh yeah, okay, I really this need to happen. I really need to, let's say, draw this energy from that one particular person. I really need to do that. Then you just go and fire it and charge it the way how I describe it. Technically speaking, it's a very similar principle, because if it's just this work, having it as a talisman, you're still charging it. You're still charging it because you're carrying it. You're looking at it. So if you're looking at it, but you're not really paying that much attention to it, you're kind of used to it. So it is still going into your subconscious, and you kind of look at it. So that way it's actually charged and fired, but it's in a way more subtle way. It's more long-term, it's more subtle. So it's kind of the same thing, the whole firing and charging through masturbation or trance or death posture, as actually wearing it in a talisman. The principle is identical. What's different is the scale, is the amount of energy that's going in it. And as I said, some desires will definitely need that extra fuel. So with the practice, you will actually kind of just think about desire, and you will already know, okay, so this type of charging will be better than this one. This one I really need some fuel, and this one is more ongoing, so I just make this and maybe use it as a logo. Miral, is there something that you desire and you find an image for your desire and then simplify the image into something that is easy for your unconscious to latch onto? Yes, absolutely, Miral. You can actually use you can absolutely use somebody else's logo. Let's say you want a Louis Vuitton bag or something like that. So you can actually use the Louis Vuitton logo and then simplify it into, it doesn't have to be all yours. As I showed you the pictograms, then I was using like the money logos, like the pound symbol and the dollar symbol for money, which is obviously symbols that like I didn't come up with. But you can still use them and incorporate them, so it doesn't have to be all completely yours. But what has to be yours is basically simplifying it to the point that even you yourself kind of, not really, kind of recognize it. Are there other ways of firing sigils, like meditation, concentrating on sending it from other centers and chakras? Yes, Anon. Yes. There are many different ways how to do it. I'm personally using meditation and death posture, which again I would not recommend under no circumstance. I mean it, to somebody who is not skilled and who don't know how to do proper meditation, who don't know how to do a trance, and yes, there are absolutely all different sorts of way how to charge it and fire it. I use this one for this particular webinar because I thought it's super easy and most people know how to masturbate. So it's easy for somebody who does not have meditation training. Then again, I don't want to brag about my foundation course, but actually in that foundation course, I'm talking about all the different. I'm even talking a little bit about the death posture and the meditation and shamanic trance, and basically how is it done, how to train it. There's something that I would say that has to be trained before you actually throw yourself in it. Do some invocation before charge can increase the results. Yes. Hands or both hands, both legs up for invocations before charging the sigil. Absolutely, like 100%. You can really play with it. Sigils are super, I like it because they're super flexible tool. They are known as being like low magic tool. It's not true. It doesn't have to be low magic tool. You can use it actually in like high magic rituals. So it doesn't have to be, so you can really play with it. Not to give you any ideas, but you can actually use sigils of the actual spirits and incorporate them with the sigil of, let's say, your own pictogram. So you are, let's say, having money, money, and there's like the symbol of the spirit on top of it, and then you can get it all and simplify it into the third symbol. So you can actually incorporate even sigils of other spirits and sigils of planets, symbols of planets, whatever symbols you can take and recycle them and make the symbol on your own. Recommendation, unless you know what you're doing, don't use the sigil spirit for making your own sigil, unless you're, let's say, spiritualist, then you know the sigil of the spirit, and you know they kind of will be happy about it. So don't, let's say, get the spirit that you don't know what it is, you never worked with it, and then just make something horrendous out of the sigil. Don't do that. But you can actually be very playful with it and incorporate other sigils. Okay, Kai. I've done the letter method before. Is there any difference between that and the pictorial method, or it's just about personal preference and what works for you? Hey, good questions. I have such a good questions, guys. Such a good questions. I'm so happy. Post more if you want to. Obviously, such a great questions. Okay, so the difference between this method and the pictorial and the letter method. Really, I would say it depends on the personal preference, really. For some people, the letter method will work better. For some people, the pictorial method will work better. Rule of thumb, I would say the people who are thinkers, the people who think, writers, journalists, people who are more scientific rationals, people, air energy, people who like to use words, people who are very wordy. For those people, technically speaking, the letter method tend to work better because they have stronger connection to that. They have stronger desire. They, again, themselves identify and blend with that energy of letters better. For people who are very visual, people who are artists, visual, creative, clairvoyant, people who are very, like, the visual side of them is very strong, maybe stronger than the letters. In general, for them, the pictorial method might work better. So this is like the bit that it's in, as I said, the customized bit. So the mechanics themselves are identical. You are making, you have a desire, you are turning it into something that you can't consciously recognize, but unconsciously you can, and then you're firing it to through the rupture to the universe with some sort of energy that's going with it. So that's like the mechanics that will work for everybody, no matter what else they're doing. If they keep the dynamics and if they keep this core, the skeleton, whatever they will put on the skeleton, it will be completely individual. What works for me? I do this pictorial method. I currently now finishing my first published oracle deck. So for that one, I made the sigils, which was the two of them. I showed you. I made this pictorial method because I'm kind of an artist myself, so I'm quite a visual person. So I found out this one better for me. I would say try both, and listen to intuition. At the right one, you will feel a pressure in your solar plexus. That means more energy is going through with that particular method. So you always look for pressure in your solar plexus. That's usually a good sign that something is strong and working. Miral, can a person use sigil magic to heal their own spirit or, say, cracks in the auric fields? Yes, absolutely. In that particular case, I would actually not use the masturbation, but I would use the sigil, as I said, as a talisman. So you can just have a paper or have it on the paper and just roll it and carrying on your neck, or you can engrave it into anything, or you can put it in a mojo bag. You get like so many things you can do. With the sigil, but absolutely you can use that for heal cracks in your auric fields. In that particular case, if you're healing your spiritual energy and you're using sigils for it, I would not use them maybe on their own, but I would use them as a part of a ritual, maybe a candle spell, or use make it out of talisman and just carrying it with you, charging it with charging the talisman with your energy, so you can heal the cracks. But yeah, absolutely, like sigils can be used basically for anything. Okay, any more questions? Come on, snowflakes. Last chance to ask a question. But good question, kids. Thank you. Oh, Meryl, thank you. Thank you. Okay, Kai, what is it then? The specially charged sigil must be destroyed, but not the talisman one. That's because usually because the talisman, it's a talisman. It's for something that is kind of more ongoing. So it's something that you still want to happen, something that's ongoing, more long-term project. So you don't really want to destroy it that much, but it also not that much energy is going actually in it. It's just more softer, so you don't have to destroy it. But if you really want some extra push, like one-off thing, then usually it's better to destroy it. I know some people actually keep them in every single case. Some people destroy them every single time. That's basically how I work. I would say try it. My work slightly differently for you, but I would say in general, if it's just a talisman that you want something from ongoing, it doesn't have to be destroyed, because you keep, I want to receive energy, I want to receive love, I want to heal my auric fields. That's something that's kind of ongoing. So I kind of can have it on me and just softly charging in it. That's okay. But if I want this pay rise, I want to get this job. That's one off thing. I need stronger push for that. Then it's usually better to destroy it. And actually, the orgasm is actually going in it. I would say it's something with the orgasm. Actually, it is just has to be destroyed afterwards. I know some people don't. I had better results when I actually used the masturbation, or when I used the death posture, something like really strong push, not just talisman. I definitely had a better results if I destroying it. I'm not entirely sure why, but if you actually masturbate on it, if you do the death posture, then somehow for me it worked better to get rid of it afterwards. Maybe it's a good idea not to apply the same system for guys or for girls. Not to sleep with it, just get rid of it. Yeah, that was joke. That was joke. But I'm a girl. I can make sexist jokes. Guys can't. I can. Annan, use concentration dharana to charge a sigil, give different results than exotic spirit state. I had personally very similar results from those two. When I was using the concentration, or when I was using exotic spirit state, I had almost identical results from those two. But it's partially given by the fact, I would say, that me as a person, I'm using almost identical amount of concentration in dharana. Dharana. I mean, I can't even pronounce it. But I do use, I do concentration practices, and I also do exotic spirit state practices almost on an identical level. So I guess that will also be playing the role why I had almost identical results with the two of them. For somebody who is very, very practicing, let's say, the concentration, and they're very good with it, because through that practice they open the channels, and they're not very good with exotic spirit state. They just don't personally rely with that. This is like this customization part. So if they're not really that much of a person, they will naturally identify with exotic spirit dance that much, then they will 100% had way, way, way better results with the concentration. If it's somebody who loves the spirit state, ecstatic, who's just this type of person, they will have way better results with that than they would have with the concentration. So always look what you actually have yourself as a person, what you naturally are aligned with, and that's what you're going to have the best result with. Okay, so last question before we wrap up. Thank you for the questions. They're amazing. I'm actually surprised I was cycling here. That's my first webinar. Nobody will show up. I will just be here alone, crying in front of a camera. But no, thank you for participating. Thank you for asking questions. Super happy about it. Okay, any last questions? Please let me know how you like the webinar. This is my first one. So I feel like most of the time I have no freaking clue what the hell I'm doing. I've done Sigil Magic based on your early video, but seminars has certainly clarified some things, and I'm definitely going to experiment more and try this pictorial method. Thank you, Astrid. Oh, yay! That's it. That's it. That was like the whole purpose of this webinar. Just like keep you going, keep you make the sigil, just keep you firing, just start working with it, just set you up and running. It's certainly nice to be able to respond. Right, that's what I was thinking. That is actually nice to actually talk to you guys. So you can see me and I can like talk to you online. I think it's brilliant. So I'm really happy about it. Thank you, Astrid. It was great. Oh, great. Thanks, Astrid. Enjoyed the webinar, enjoying the introductory course online too. Andy, amazing. Thank you. It was great. Thank you for the opportunity. So thanks. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. I'm super happy that you like the webinar. Mila, love your hair, by the way. Oh, do you? It's just like it's like a bit of an accident. It was supposed to be silver. I'm trying to get silver hair since September, and just like always catch this like blonde, silver, God knows what type of a shade. But yeah, let's call it platinum for the sake of simplification. So yeah, okay. So I'm super happy that you seem to like the webinar and makeup. Oh, thanks. Thank you so much. Originality, yeah, that originality. That's me. That's my word. I'm glad you like it. It's just I'm really hoping that you're going to like this format when I think it's a bit more like relaxed and it's fun and we're chatting and you can ask questions and I can show myself in my whole horrible splendor of my amazing personality. So I'm glad you like it. You seem to like it. You seem to like learn some things, and again, it was just really just to set you running. So, oh, thanks, Astrid. Oh, thanks everybody. How often do you gonna do webinars? That's a good question. I have no clue. I was actually planning to do them like every week or two, depending how popular it will be, and if somebody would be actually interested in me talking on the camera and they watching me live. So I was thinking about every week or two. Maybe I think I was planning to do something next week or the week after. So if you have any ideas for topics, let me know. Just message me or message me on the Facebook. I was thinking about talking about spiritual alchemy and some shadow work. So that might be one of the topics I'm going to talk about. So, but if you like it, you seem to like it. So I'm going to possibly do more of them. I'm actually, every time I'm going to do a webinar, the next one will be, I guess I'm going to do it in like a week or two. It will be on my website, which I mentioned, the spiritual-alchemy.uk. I have a new tab that's called webinars, and in that you can also find always information about what's the nearest webinar and how to sign up for it. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for actually coming and attending and enjoying it and communicating with me with the chat box. You basically saved me from a massive embarrassing moment when I was just like sitting there and just nobody replied. So thank you so much. I'm really glad you like it. And please have a look at my website. There was a blog, the radio show I mentioned before, and you will, if you keep this link, then you will be able to find the replay of the webinar that will be up for upcoming 24 hours, and then it will be on YouTube. So thank you so much. I'm just hoping you will have a wonderful evening and kisses. Thank you so much for attending and talking to me and spending the evening. Bye.